Hey guys. On today's video, we're going to be making a delicious traditional Mexican style dish. The first thing that I want to do is make our rice. So I want to make a yellow rice. I have here 2 cups of brown rice. I like to use whole ingredients. I love to steam my grains. They come out amazing. Quinoa, wild rice, any type of rice, especially like whole grains, steaming them is probably one of the best things that you can do. I'm putting in 2 cups of water, 1-to-1 ratio. When you steam, and the reason why is because when you steam, there's excess water always evaporating. So it's going to give the brown rice enough moisture, but it's not going to overdo it. If you add too much water to the brown rice while you steam it, it may come out too moist. I have here some cumin seeds. I'm just going to add a little pinch. Since it's a yellow rice, I want to add some turmeric. Okay, so I'm going to add my rice into the steamer. And I am going to set the timer for 60 minutes and it'll be done in about an hour. So the next step that I want to do is make a sauce. I have here some tomatoes, Roman tomatoes. I have here 2 Serranos. I love Serranos, my favorite jalapeño. I've got here some garlic. We're going to use some garlic and then we're going to use some onion. Alright, our comal is nice and hot. And we're going to add our tomates. And I'm going to use 4 tomates. In the middle I want to add my onion. And then I'm going to add my garlic and my serrano a little later. We're going to actually put them in the middle. That's where all the heat is conducted. I am going to fully roast these guys. And today I'm going to side my meal with lentils. I am just going to peel my ingredients. I'm going to be using a carrot and a potato. I'm going to move the tomatoes real quick before we proceed. So we just keep flipping it and moving it around. Okay, so now we're just going to add the serranos. And we're going to add our garlic. I'm using 2 beautiful, big, juicy garlic cloves. And we're going to allow this to grill some more. So, real quick, we're going to cut these vegetables. Alright, so I have all my potatoes here. And I chopped them. Went ahead and chopped them already. I'm going to add them into a pan. Now, when you really think about it, oil is an expensive product. So, most Mexicans probably didn't even have oil. So, I'm going to go ahead and keep it that way and avoid oil and save up that money. So, all I'm going to do is get this garlic out. What I'm going to do is give my vegetables a slight saute. So I'm going to add it on the stove. I'm going to take it to the stove and I'm going to saute it with absolutely no oil. While I wait for this to heat up, I'm going to go cut an onion really fast. The onion always adds that extra moisture. It always helps. I love adding onion. Onion is one of those ingredients that can saute really well without oil. It's really great. Like that one's the easiest one, but all ingredients can be sauteed without oil, literally. With any pan, it doesn't matter. You just gotta be able to manage the heat. Like this is a stainless steel pan and things get stuck, but if you move them around, they tend to move out. And that's it. So I'm going to add a little salt. I'm going to add my lentils. I'm adding 1 cup. And then I'm going to add some water all the way to the very top of the pan. Whichever pan it is, all the way to the top. And allow this to cook. Alrighty, so we're just gonna allow that to go. Now let's start on the sauce. So for our sauce, it's pretty straightforward. Just add the ingredients into the blender. And I didn't roast this that much. I like to keep it slightly fresh. And then these guys, I don't want to take off the peel, so I'm just leave it. I'm gonna add the onion. But if you can remove it, you should. But you can remove the peel if you want. I don't like to remove it. I'm okay. So I'm just gonna get all the juices. The thing that I want to add is some salt. About 1/8 of a teaspoon, maybe 2 of those. And then some type of sazon, any type of sazon that you can find. I love this brand. It's vegetable seasoning. I'm gonna add a teaspoon. Alright, and we're gonna blend this until it's smooth. I'm not gonna add any water just yet. Usually you don't need any water because of the tomatoes. It has a lot of water. What I'm gonna do is add all the sauce into a saucepan. And I'm gonna cook this down for about 30 minutes till it reduces. I'm gonna add some water to my blender so I can clean it. This is the Mexican way. You don't waste anything in the Mexican households. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer this to a saucepan and cook it. Now some people like to fry their sauces. It's the Mexican way at the moment, but I don't like to fry my sauces, so I skip out on that all the time. So I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vegetable seasoning to the lentils, or 2. This is one of my favorite seasonings. This is like adding sazon. We add sazon to all our recipes. Like, we don't normally use salt. We just use the seasonings. So sazon is the seasoning. So most sazones have like all the bad stuff. Like they have cooked chicken. I think Knorr has cooked chicken in it, bunch of oil. I don't like that. So I like this one. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna add some cumin powder. Wow, this recipe is gonna be so tasty. These lentils are gonna be super delicious. And that sauce is cooking up. I'm gonna get one of my sauce spatulas and give it a nice little stir. Okay, we've come to the last step. I'm all set here. Our rice is almost done, and our lentils are almost done, and we're almost ready to put it together. Our sauce is over here. Such a delight. Now, the last thing that we want to do is grill up our nopales. Now, I was thinking of, now the original recipe usually goes in it, like you cook the nopales in the sauce. I don't want to do that for the presentation wise, but if you're trying to like speed things up, that's how you would do it. You just have to cook the nopales in the sauce. I'm gonna get the nopales, and then I have here a garlic. We'll get a piece of the garlic and we'll rub it on the nopal. We coat it with some garlic. We can smell it too. It smells good. This is some iodine salt with a little bit of onion powder. And then I'm going to add the seasoning. Shit. And then I'm going to flip it to the other side and do the same. Okay. A little bit of salt. And the seasoning. Okay, and right away we add it to the asada, where it should be asándose. But I lowered the heat. I lowered the heat of the comal, so I just raised it up. Some people use oil to stick the seasoning. This is a great way to use some type of oil to have the seasonings stick. So seasonings and probably a little tiny bit of salt. Cook them down in the skillet. We add the garlic right by it. So there you have it. All our ingredients are ready. I have our lentil soup. I have our yellow rice. And look at it. It looks beautiful. As you can see, if you steam this rice, brown rice, it doesn't even look like brown rice. It is just delightful. It's delicious. Here's our sauce, and all we have to do is add our nopales. So I'm going to do 3, and I want the one with the garlic. And here's our sauce. We just add it in the middle. And there you go, our delicious meal. You could definitely replace this with mushrooms or your favorite vegetable, cabbage, chayote.